guys, welcome back to our channel.
Yeah, it's been a really long time since we've done one of these sit-down videos together, so hopefully we're still on point.
Yep, and I just realized that it is June 1st. So, well, it's not June 1st tomorrow, but today it's June 1st, and it is exactly a year since Connor left on deployment. I didn't even think of that.
Oh, that's right, yeah. You just reminded me of that, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, it's crazy that the day that he left on deployment, now he's making a video with me. He's home, and it's just amazing. So, we're going to be doing a video together, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so in this video, we're going to be talking about smart money choices for military families. And this is going to be kind of like a part 2 to my first video, which was how to save money. And so first I just want to talk about how in my very first video of how to save money, I said you need to decide or you need to figure out who is the saver and who is the spender. And because money causes a lot of arguments in marriages and families, you first want to decide who's the saver, who's the spender. And if you haven't watched that video, I would recommend to go watch that first. But we're just gonna elaborate on some of that and then some more things. All right, so the first one that I'm actually really good at, that Connor is not good at, is asking for military discounts. And it's actually kind of awkward, and I think that's why he doesn't do it. But I'm always like, you know, make sure you ask for a military discount, make sure you ask for a military discount, because you always want to save like a little bit of money. Like, we are in the military and we kind of need those discounts sometimes because, I mean, they don't get paid a lot. And so just having like the 10% off or, you know, 15% off is super beneficial and can save you a couple of dollars for maybe like a grocery trip or something like that. So always make sure you do the military discount. It is awkward sometimes, and sometimes they don't have it, but just make sure you ask.
Yeah, it's really only awkward when they say no, and then there's like that blank silence where it's like, oh, all right. And
then I'm like, why don't you have it?
Yeah, like,
you should.
Un-American.
Yeah.
Anyways, I believe that every American business should have a military discount.
Yes.
So another thing that I wanted to talk about was just saving money on deployment. Deployment's like one of the best times that you can use to save money and save as much as you can, you know, because you're out to sea most of the time. You know, you might hit a port here and there. Like, I hit only 4 ports, so we were out to sea, you know, the majority of the time, so there wasn't any big expenditures. Something that you could do is, and we kind of thought about doing this, is your spouse, you know, you and your spouse figure out where you're stationed at or where your home of residence is has the higher BAH, and then depending on that, so if your house of residency has the higher BAH, maybe, you know, your spouse moved back with their parents or with some friends and then use that address. So that way you can get more in BAH. Or if your duty station has higher BAH, then you can still, you know, move back to your home of residence where it's cheaper and collect a BAH for where your duty station is. Depending on which one costs more, but yeah. So that's one good way. Another one is you're on deployment, so you're gonna get separation pay, might even get hazardous duty pay. And the biggest one is tax-free zones. When I was on deployment, we went through a tax-free zone and we got 2 months tax-free. So that's when we were raking in money. Yeah. And if you do want to re-enlist, and your re-enlistment time is right around your deployment, and you think you're going to be going through a tax-free zone, re-enlist in the tax-free zone. Because if you re-enlist and you get a re-enlistment bonus, you know, instead of only getting $30,000 for your re-enlistment bonus, because, you know, they're taken away from taxes and stuff like that, you'd be getting like 45, 50 grand. So yeah, so just remember those things for when you're on deployment. Yeah, deployment I think is really the best time to save money.
And on my side of, you know, staying home and stuff, I did have to make those decisions of if I wanted to go home or stay here, which, as you guys know, I decided to stay here. But because I'm the saver in the relationship, I was able to really spend his money wisely, and most of his money I saved, or I lived off of, and then I was also working, and so then all the money that I was getting, I was able to put in savings because we weren't using a lot of his money. It was just rent, and then I was able to also save his, and so it just worked really well. And so if you're the one staying home on the deployment, I think it's really important that you learn how to save, because you don't want to be a wife that's a spender and then, you know, he's gone and you're spending all the money, and then he gets home and you're like, you have nothing really to show for saving and maybe paying off loans. I paid a lot of my student loans off from his deployment, and so just learning how to save as a wife, if you're the one home, is super, super important.
Yeah,
so
and that's actually another thing. One of the best things that you could use your money for on deployment is paying off debts like loans, you know, auto loans, even putting more towards your mortgage, whatever the case may be. That's like one of the best times, especially if it's just Brittany here. You know, she's getting a paycheck. She's also getting my paycheck. And she's only having to feed one person instead of two.
Other than Samuel.
Other than Samuel, yeah, of course. But because in the long run, if you pay off your debts sooner, I think most of you know this, but you pay less in interest. So you are saving money that way in the long run. So it is a good time to pay off all your debts. Even if you didn't save as much as you wanted to, as long as you're using the rest of that money to pay off debts, then
you're
it's
doing
still
something.
a good thing. Yeah, so.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Save during deployment.
Yes.
All right, so the next one that I wanted to talk about is save on gym. Now, because me and Connor have been super healthy and working out lately, this one came to mind. And basically, like, you have two options. So you can either save a lot on the gym by going to the base gym. If you live close, or if you live on base, then you can just go to the base gym, which is super convenient for you. But for us, we don't live super close to it, and so we chose to get a membership somewhere else, and we really liked the membership at the YMCA, and so we decided to get one there. And basically what the Y does now, it's an income-based payment. And so basically you go in and you tell them your income, and they put you on like this sliding scale. So if you don't make a lot, or you're you know, a husband, wife with 2 kids, you pay less than the amount that you're supposed to pay, and then you kind of just go down if you make less, and just all the way down. Because at first we did the military discount through the YMCA, and it sucked. Like, I hate that happens, that you get a military discount and it's like, it's not as good as another discount, because we're military and they should know that we don't make as much. Don't even get me started on that, but anyways. So if you just go in and tell them your income, you'll only have to pay a certain amount. Like, I think we pay $50 for the both of us. So
a month,
yeah, a month. So, and then there was no startup cost. So pretty cheap, but yeah, I think that's one way that you can save if you are going to the gym, either base or go through like a YMCA or something that has a cheap cost. And then the next one that I wanted to touch on quickly is these groups called Buy Nothing groups. I just heard about these recently, and basically what they are Facebook groups, kind of like buy, sell, trade, but it's buy nothing. And basically the entire group is your trading stuff for free. So one of my friends got an entire dresser that was nice, that someone was like, I'm not going to use this anymore, I just want to give this away. And you just like give things away on this group for no money. You can't put any price value on it, like that's not allowed in this group. It has to be free, or you borrow it. So there's other times where people will say, does anybody have a lawnmower? I need a lawnmower, and they'll give them a lawnmower. And it's so cool because you don't have to spend money on a lawnmower. But the way that this group works is it's only within a certain radius of your house. So where we live, there's groups all around the city, and each group is like within a 5 to 10 mile radius. And so it's kind of like getting to know your neighbors, borrowing stuff like the old like sugar and butter stuff, you know. And so just being a part of those groups is cool, because I've known a lot of people who have gotten like tons of free baby clothes from these groups, or like, again, the free dresser and stuff like that. So some towns don't have them, but if you're in a medium to big size town, then they most likely will. So just check on Facebook if they have one for you, because you can save so much money by going through this group. Like, I'm so amazed by how much money you can save. So yeah. So
the last thing that I want to talk about is kind of retirement, and what to do to set yourself up for success when it comes to retirement. And this is going to depend on whether you want to stay in for the whole 20 years in the military, or, you know, get out after 4 years, 6 years, 10 years, even 14 years, you know. So right now they have this thing called the blended retirement system. They just implemented it not too long ago. If you haven't joined already, it's too late. You're going to be put into the blended retirement system, which if you decide to retire, it's not as good of a deal as just plain retiring from the military, and I'll kind of explain why. So what the blended retirement system does is you can put in money monthly, and the blended retirement system will match your funds, you know, all the way up until you get out. But it's only up to a certain amount. I think it's only like $250 a month, but that's still good because, you know, that's $250 free that you get every month just for putting in $250. So that's why it's good, but it's not as good as just regular old retiring as like a chief or a senior chief after 20 years, because you know, after they retire, they start collecting a pension that's worth more money than the money that you would have made with blended retirement system after 20 years. So that's why it's better for right now, if you're in and you decide to retire, you want to retire after 20 years, don't sign up for the blended retirement system. But if you decide on getting out soon or not doing your whole 20 years, even if you're in for, you know, 2 years, you only have 2 years left, it's still a good deal for you to sign up. I think you have to have, you have to have a certain amount of years left to sign up, but I think it's 2. So even if you only have 2 years, it's a really good deal to sign up, because it's just free money when you get out, really. They match, like I said, they match what you put in up to $250, I think. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't done like all my research. So if you have more details about it, for sure comment below so other people can read that. But it is something that was just implemented. But I'm pretty sure if you haven't joined the Navy yet and you are going to join, then I think you have to be signed up with the blended retirement system as of 2019 or something like that. So, but look into it. It could be an awesome deal for you and a way to just really essentially get free money. So that's something that I would suggest, because who wouldn't want free money? Yeah.
So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this money saving video. If you want more money saving tips from us, just let us know, comment down below. We don't really know what we save money on, so if you just want to be specific on what you want to know, that would be great, because I get a lot of questions about saving money and stuff, but I'm just like, because I'm a saver, it just kind of comes naturally to me, so I'm like, what do I do? But
it's like an instinct that you have. But if you do have any other helpful tips on saving money, like, for sure comment below with your tips, because I'm sure there are a lot of different ways that you can save money. Actually, I just thought about one. Say you're not married, but you're a girlfriend or a boyfriend of someone who's in the military, or you're in the military, and you didn't know this. There's this thing called DLA, so dislocation allowance. So anytime the military makes you move from one place to another, they're supposed to give you money. And a lot of people just think that's for like married individuals, because they have to pack up their whole family and move. But there's a thing called single DLA, and I think it's like $1,200 or something like that, just free money that they give you just because you're switching duty stations. So and that even works after boot camp or A school. But
people don't know about it.
People don't know about it, yeah. Well, the military doesn't really want to share information about how you can make money off of them, right? Because it's the government, so they want that money to themselves. But so even if, you know, after boot camp or after A school, and then you're going to your first, you know, command or something outside of school, you can file, you know, single DLA. Or for the married people who don't know, you could file a regular DLA, dislocation allowance, and just get free money for the military making you move from one place to the other. And I think you can do it for anytime you change commands, you can do that. Or anytime you move duty stations, you can do that, yeah.
Interesting.
So, keep that in mind. And also, one more thing.
Oh my goodness. Say it, baby, say it.
Well, this isn't exactly a way to save money, but it is a way to save on leave, which is, leave is money. Leave is money. Because you could turn in that leave at the end, and they can pay you back for all the leave that you didn't use. So if you want to save on leave, but you want to take 10 days of leave, as soon as you get to your command, like you check into your command, take house hunting leave, because the military has to give you house hunting leave, which is 10 free days of leave that you get to leave and go search for a house. But how we did it was, I went on my own time before I took this leave to try to find an apartment to stay at, and I found one, and I moved into it, and then I took house hunting leave, and then that's 10 free days to just chill. And Brittany came down, and you know, we were in San Diego, and we just kind of hung out for 10 days.
Alright guys, so that's it for our video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and again, if you have any more tips, then leave them down below. If you want any more videos and all that stuff, or obviously you want more videos, but just like topics that you want, comment them comment them down below, and we will see you guys
next time
in our next video.
In our next video.
Bye.
Down videos together, so you know, hopefully we got it down pat.
Down pat? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Down pat?
Yeah, you've never heard of it?
I've never heard of that.
Millennials.
Millennials? Is that an old person thing?
Down pat? You never heard of that, really?
No, I swear I've never heard of that.
It's a thing, I promise.
Alright, take 2. Hey guys! Ooh, I don't know why I did that.
It's gonna be huge.
Huge.